I was wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was, in fact, wrong about that. So look, these details matter because if you're going to make an argument that you acted in self-defense, there needs to be some proof that there was an imminent threat. Now, what really mattered to me was how all of this unfolded. What was the thing that sparked it? What started all of it? And initially, I was under the assumption that Rittenhouse was the person who was chasing after Joseph Rosenbaum, that's how it had started. But I was wrong about that, okay? So I want to correct the record. I was, in fact, wrong about that. And to show you the evidence, to reinforce that I was wrong about that, I want to go to this video that shows how everything really started.
Here is where we first see Joseph Rosenbaum, the first person Kyle Rittenhouse fatally shoots that night. He joins the fight against the armed civilians, as other protesters try to stop him. Rosenbaum has just been released from the hospital after undergoing mental health treatment. His reasons for being here are unclear, and he doesn't appear to have attended a protest before. But his actions on this night will add to an already volatile situation. Rittenhouse walks towards a parking lot where cars are being vandalized. He passes Joseph Rosenbaum, who was fighting with the armed men at the gas station earlier. Rosenbaum now starts chasing Rittenhouse. And throws a plastic bag that holds his belongings from the hospital. Close behind them, a man holds up a handgun and fires it. We don't know why. Then Rosenbaum lunges towards Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse fires 4 times.
So those details matter, right? Who was chasing who matters. The gunshots by some other unidentified person, that matters, especially if you're Rittenhouse and you're running away and then you hear shots and then Rosenbaum lunges toward him.
There was Anna Kasparian, forgive me if I messed up her name, from Young Turks. And when I initially saw that it's certainly not an apology, which she's, in this case, I was getting the impression that she was genuinely trying to, if nothing else, at minimum, just admit that she was wrong. And I think part of it came from frustration because it's as if she didn't know that was the case, that Rittenhouse was not chasing Rosenbaum, or that Rittenhouse wasn't just running around trying to shoot people. But then I saw a similar act by Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. And I'm not sure, you grow very cynical of these people. By the way, Ada Jet Noise, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, please like, subscribe, hit me up. If you want to counter what I'm going to say, what I'm saying, by all means, please do. You might just correct me, because I don't have to be right. I just want to start these conversations because not enough of us are having the conversations that need to be had. Again, Ada Jet Noise, ADA Jet Noise, Rumble, Facebook, YouTube. Hit like, subscribe. Yeah, Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon had a similar moment as Anna did there. And I want to say Anna is being frustratingly, or she's frustrated in her genuineness. It's not so much an apology. She just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that she is trying to be as real as absolutely possible in her reporting. And there's no hiding. There's no hiding in this case. When you see the video, and you saw there Rosenbaum chasing Rittenhouse trying to get away, the gunshots that happened before Rittenhouse even turned around, and then Rittenhouse got in a position where he felt he needed to defend himself, and then Rosenbaum kept coming at him and put Kyle in a position where he was going to have to defend himself. With Cuomo and Lemon, again, I go back to the word cynicism. I can't help but think that what some of these news networks, especially after what happened with the Nick Sandmann trial, after the defamation, what they did with Nick Sandmann, and they didn't learn from Nick Sandmann, because Nick Sandmann just sued, and the entire, those networks had to buy new pants because he sued the pants off of them. So those people had to go out and buy new pants. And the Nick Sandmann thing, it should have been like the flair for these people. And that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting at. Cuomo and Lemon, it seemed like they were just trying to erase the slate. Like, hey, look, hey, we saw. We may not have known before. When in fact, like Joy Reid, Cuomo, Lemon, all those people had no problem ripping this kid apart. When in fact they had no right to do that. They had no evidence of that. They didn't even have anybody on the ground. That video, all of that amazing video. There's a lot of video that most of you haven't seen, and it's obvious because there's so many people that still believe that Rittenhouse shot black people, that he was just walking around shooting black people at a protest, that they still believe that he crossed the state lines with a gun, as if his mom was driving the car and he's sticking out of a sunroof, pointing a AR-15. People still believe this. I said it before. I have a friend that on the night of that happened, when I posted that Rittenhouse was defending himself, he jumped down my throat. He immediately said, "Oh, he went there to kill people." He got mad at me. This is a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He got mad at me for seeing what I saw in the videos. I can't say whether or not he saw the videos. I would hope that he didn't see the videos at that time when he said that to me. That I was over the line. He said that I was over the line. And that he couldn't take that anymore. And that I offended him. So he said the things that he said to me, and like I said, I hope he didn't see the video, because the video would have been clear and concise. And if he saw the video and he still thought that way, then he chose his politics over our friendship. I digress from that. And again, he's not the only one. These people aren't the only ones that have been misinformed or spreading misinformation. There's a tweet that's since been deleted from James Madison University of a young guy I think his name is Daquan Nichols. And I'm going to pull this up here. I want you guys to see this thing. Here, let's pull this up.
Documentary coming out, Film Fest, December 16th. We've been shooting one about me, a day in the life of Daquan Nichols. Thank you, JMU. Thank you to the entire Duke family. Thank you for being on Instagram and everything like that. After this post, I will be logging off. I simply wanted to publicly announce that the verdict of the Kyle Rittenhouse case has been nothing more than a disgusting reminder of what it's really like to be black in America. All the protesting, everything we went through in 2020, we really would think would make a change, but clearly it doesn't. We scream Black Lives Matter, but it doesn't matter enough for these people who are in power, the jury, the judge, anybody, to charge this man with murdering and taking away two beautiful black lives at the ripe ages of 26 and 36. It's disgusting.
Two beautiful black lives. This is what Mr. Nichols believes happened. Misinformation. I'm being kind when I say misinformation. People are lying. They're just lying. The misinformation thing is a kind way of just saying lies. And like in the Kasparian case, I believe that she just didn't know. So someone gave her the lies. She ran with the lies. It's good enough, right? It fits the narrative. Again, kudos to her for being a big enough person to come out and say, hey, I was wrong. So, again, kudos to her. Yeah, just like drying your clothes in the rain. It's just like drying your clothes in the rain. These people are telling us things, whatever it is that they want us to believe. They're telling us those things, and then they double down. And that's what happened during the entire Kyle Rittenhouse situation through the court case. Kyle is recently was on Tucker Carlson, and he admitted that I say admitted. He just said, hey, look, I believe in BLM. He's 18 years old. Why wouldn't he believe in Black Lives Mattering? I think he's completely oblivious to the communist, Marxist bullcrap that BLM actually is. But as far as the lives of black people mattering, of course. And he has what he feels is a legitimate gripe. And I can sell the same gripe by saying that there's injustices happening in the courtrooms with black people. Ask Kamala Harris. Don't ask her to explain what it is. Ask her what she did to black people in California when she was DA in California. Ask her what she did. Look at the inequality, injustice, discrepancy. Call it whatever you want. Look what Kamala Harris did. And look at the incarceration numbers during Kamala Harris's term in California as DA. Look at that. And here's something else. Politicians. Sean Patrick Maloney, New York congressman. This is a guy that, he's like the head of at one point he was like the head of Democrat campaigning or something along that lines. But Sean Patrick Maloney, New York congressman, he said after the verdict, It's disgusting and disturbing that someone was able to carry a loaded assault rifle into a protest against the unjust killing of Jacob Blake. Used the man's name. Couldn't even say a black man. Unjust killing of Jacob Blake, an unarmed black man. Oh, he did say it. Sorry. I was ready to end it at that stupid, but he did say Jacob Blake. He said that Jacob Blake was unjustly killed, when in fact Jacob Blake has done interviews after the shooting from the hospital bed, feeling some sort of vulnerability and remorse. Jacob Blake said, "Oh, we gotta change our ways. We gotta do better." Dude, Jacob Blake, in case you've been living under a rock for a while, Jacob Blake was the whole reason that Kyle Rittenhouse exists. If Kyle Rittenhouse, or I should say, the reason we know Rosenbaum, Huber, Grosskreutz, and Rittenhouse is because of Jacob Blake. If Jacob Blake hadn't been a serial abuser of his girlfriend, at one point digitally raping his girlfriend in front of their daughter, or her daughter at least, God knows, but in front of a child. If Jacob Blake hadn't been that type of man, where he would continually abuse his girlfriend or the people around him, if he wasn't who he was, he wouldn't have had to run in with the police. In this case, the phone call came in that I believe it was his girlfriend, that said that he was taking the rental car that she had, and the kids were in there. So he was taking it, and she wanted to return it, but he was going to take it. So when the police got there, the police confronted him, and then it got physical. He, of course, avoided it. He admitted that he had resisted, then started to walk away. As he walked away, he had his back towards the police officers. Now, he felt apparently pretty confident, if you can see in the video, that he wasn't going to get shot in the back. So he walked all the way around the car, because they were on, let's say, they were on the wrestling. The initial wrestling happened on the rear quarter panel passenger side. He walked all the way around the car. He walked from the back to the front, towards the driver's side door, opened the door, and reached in for something. Now, you can see a knife in his hand when he walks around the car in the first place. Now, whether he's putting the knife in the car or trying to, in other words, trying to hide it, or if he was reaching for another knife or reaching for, I don't know. But he had a weapon. He had a weapon. So, as a police officer, hell, as me, and I'm a cotton candy salesman, I would have shot in that situation. We were already in the skirmish. It got physical. I'm giving you demands. You're ignoring them. You reach in your car. I'm shooting. I don't have any questions for you at that point. We've already been through it. And then you walked around and you reached in your car. I'm shooting. So, Sean Patrick Maloney, Congressman, New York, says that Jacob Blake was killed when in fact Jacob Blake was not killed. He was shot, but not killed. Again, I don't think that Congressman Maloney is smart enough to question. Right? Somebody just told him that black man was killed by police officers. And he just believed that. Somebody just told him that. He doesn't know anything about it. He didn't bother looking into it. He just knows that it's good for his political career as a Democrat to say that white cops kill black people. That's all he knows. That's all he would know. Again, washing or drying your clothes in the rain. Black is white, white is black, dry is wet, up is down, down is up. They're just reversing everything that we believe in. That the good are supposed to be incarcerated, hence what we have going on with just to go with the Sandman and the Rittenhouse case. The people that did January 6th breach, still no evidence of them doing anything except being there. You're allowed in the rotunda there. Some guy sitting at Pelosi's desk puts his feet up on the desk, writes her a stupid note. Want to get him for trespassing? Fine. But not what they're doing to these people. Not what they're doing to them now. Here's another lie. Bubba Wallace had tweeted that let that have been a black man, he would have been in jail. Let that have been a black man that shot 3 white people, he would have been in jail. Bubba Wallace is an extreme idiot. You don't know or remember who Bubba Wallace is. Bubba Wallace is a NASCAR driver, fairly popular. Now I see he's only popular because he's black. And he's the only one. He had a chance to really draw in the numbers of new fan, make new fans. He really had a chance to do a good thing if he would just had kept a man's head on his shoulder. But instead he's choosing a victim's head. A victim's head. So Bubba Wallace tweeted that let that have been a black man that shot 3 white people, he'd have been in prison. Well, there's a case here in Florida. Let me see if I can get this, Mr. Coffee. AJ Coffee, the 4th. AJ Coffee, the 4th, was acquitted, but shooting police officers. But in this case, you have an argument that maybe his shooting was justified. Let me read a little insert here. Coffee the 4th told the court that he was asleep at the time the SWAT team arrived. He woke up and he thought he was being robbed. Coffee said he saw what appeared to be a rifle sticking through an open bedroom window, pointed at him. That's when he fired a .45 caliber pistol out of the window, shooting 2 or 3 times. Deputies returned fire with more than a dozen rounds shot towards the bedroom. According to the court records, Andrew's 21-year-old girlfriend, Alteria Woods, was killed after reportedly being struck by 10 bullets fired by a SWAT team, including 1 bullet. The shades of Breonna Taylor. Yeah, bullet that entered her chest. Wood's family said that Alteria worked as a pharmacy technician. Shades of Breonna Taylor, right? The problem with it, before you go, yeah, well, Breonna Taylor, Breonna's house was breached by the police. Her name was on the warrant. What happened was an unfortunate incident. Her boyfriend, again, you can argue, he believed that someone's breaking, because he's in a questionable neighborhood. He believed somebody was breaking in, so he took the defense stance. And Breonna happened to be in the line of the crossfire, and Breonna took the brunt of the short gun battle, if you will. In this case, this Alteria was got caught up in the same situation. She's caught up in the gunfire, and what could argue very clearly be a mistake. Not even a mistake, but if the guy thought that harm was coming his way, then he defended himself. A jury found AJ Coffey, the fourth, 27 years old, not guilty of second-degree felony murder, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder of law enforcement officers by discharging a firearm, and 1 count of shooting or throwing a deadly missile. AJ Coffey is a black gentleman. You got it off, right? Sagan Penn, 25, was acquitted of manslaughter. Police officer Thomas Riggs and attempted murder of police officer Donovan Jacobs and a ride-along civilian Sarah Pina Ruiz. The shooting happened during a physical confrontation between Penn and the officers Donovan and Riggs. Penn said he acted in self-defense after the truck he was driving was stopped by Officer Donovan Jacobs. Penn did not testify, but other witnesses said that Penn grabbed Jacobs' gun after the officer had pinned him to the ground and had struck him with his baton while cursing him with racial epithets. And after shooting and wounding Jacobs, Penn fired at Riggs, killing him, and then fired into Riggs' police car, wounding civilian Sarah Pina Ruiz. All right, the other one, Mr. Coffey. Mr. Coffey. The other one, I would argue, yeah, sure, by all means. You got yourself a case there, man. It looks like self-defense. It looks like all you were doing was defending yourself. In this case, this guy, and remember, Mr. Coffey shot officers as well. This guy shot 2 officers and then turned around and shot at the ride-along passenger. They were doing police ride-along at Miss Pina Ruiz. He shot at her. Why you would shoot at someone just sitting in the car, the police car? Maybe you thought it was another police officer, and maybe she would have jumped out and did some karate on you, something. Or he was trying to get rid of witnesses. Yeah, you have to tell me. You have to tell me what happened there. Penn fled in a police car, running over Jacobs in the process, but turned himself in to the authorities within half an hour. After 23 days of jury deliberation in the second trial, the verdict of not guilty came about again. They tried him twice, and not guilty was the outcome both times. Sagan Penn is black. So I'm you have to ask, what is the motivation of trying to convince people that the Rittenhouse case was a racial thing? It doesn't, there's no way you can sell it. There's absolutely no way you can sell it. There is a lot of video evidence. There's photographs. When they stood on a stand, there was no racial element to the Rittenhouse shooting. None. It is you are reaching way down into a well to try to do that. And you're simply telling people that they can dry clothes in the rain. It's not a good place for us to be. So many people accepting these lies. And so many people as well just would rather ignore the truth because the lie is what they want. It fits their agenda. It carries the narrative. Not in the best place to be. The lies are indeed a huge problem. And this country is being torn down by some of the most professional liars, including your president, Joseph Robinette, by spreading those lies, my friend. A to Jet Noise. A to Jet Noise on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble.com. Now on Rumble, punch me. There's a little boxing glove there. See my videos and you like what I'm saying? Give me a punch. Thumbs up on YouTube. Comments on all three. Facebook, give me a like. Give me a dislike. Again, or if you like, one of the things that I like doing, if you heard of something that you would like some information on, or you need proof, or proof of, give me a suggestion. I play requests. Hey, the Jet Noise. Again, thanks for joining me. Try your best to take your mainstream media news source with a grain of salt, and try to, if you're actually concerned about something, look into it for yourself. Do not let anybody tell you don't let anyone tell you what the truth is. Find out for yourself. It is your noise. Thanks again. Big hug. Be good. Be still. Enjoy your life.